Welcome to episode 7 of the Pocket Presence podcast. I am one of your hosts, Johovsky, Jehovah, Joseph, Packers fan, Yankees fan. And here are all my co-hosts. We starting off with Justin. He's a Giants fan. He's a Yankees fan. And I don't know if he got any other teams than that, but it's big Giants and big Yankees for him. We got Gabe. He an Eagles fan. He
Yes,
a
sir.
Mets fan. I don't
Sir,
know
yes,
if
sir.
he blessed or any other teams, but I know it's big
That's
Eagles and
K,
big
that's
Mets for
K.
him. We got Leak. He a Bengals fan and a Yankees fan. So he a big Bengals, big Yankees for him.
You know me.
And Nube, my guy Nube, big Giants fan, big Yankees fan, big Knicks fan. Go
Oh,
ahead, Nube.
all right. Now, welcome to the Presence podcast. And I'd like to formally introduce a special guest for us, a former Peekskill alumni like myself. He played D1 football at Temple University. He was part of the Miami Dolphins, the Bears, the Carolina Panthers, the Patriots, and played in the CFL for a little bit. Please welcome our very special guest, Derek BoneCrusher Dennis.
What's going on, my boys?
Yes,
What's going
sir.
on?
A former Peekskill Red Devil. It's great to have you on the
Yes,
show.
sir. Yes, sir, man. Hey, I still tell people all the time because I got it tatted on me. So everybody be like, "Oh, what's that? What's that P with the devil on your arm?" I'm like, Peak Scale, man. That's my
Oh, that's
hometown.
fire. That's
That's
fire.
nice.
That's nice. Nice. W's in the chat.
That is great, W. Now, Derek played football at Peekskill in the early 2000s, I believe. He also
It
played.
was
Fun fact,
That Mookie Jones era. That
yeah,
was that was me.
he
Yeah.
also played basketball with my coach, believe it or not. At that, he
Yeah.
played with
With
Brickhouse.
Dukes. Yeah, with Dukes.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah, Dukes was a little younger than me, but just growing up in Peekskill, we always used to ball at, what I'm saying, canteen. We used to be in, what I'm saying, all the park all the time. So it was always like everybody was just, that's what made us so tough in ball, man. We all grew up playing together, whether it was in Bowman, right there across from Bowman and all that. So, I mean, those still like all my friends from high school, everybody that's still in the town, those still my people. It's always my first stop I make every time I get a chance to come back home and go, kind of go through the town, see everybody, say what up, show love. So you know how it go.
That's all. That's all.
Cool.
Yeah, I
Now
want
we
to give
have
a
a couple of
quick.
questions.
Yeah,
That we
but before we get into the questions, I just wanted to give a quick summary, real quick, based on, information I had gathered over doing my homework. So we got summary real quick on Derek BoneCrusher Dennis. We got New York born and raised. You cut me off if anything is wrong here. You give your own insight. But we got New York born and raised. Came up in college at Temple University, as previously mentioned. Um, Signed as an undrafted free agent to the NFL, to the Miami Dolphins in 2012. And since then has played for the Patriots, the Bears, the Panthers, Calgary Stampeders, Edmonton Elks for the CFL, among other teams and leagues.
Yeah. I mean, the joke I always make with people is when they ask me where'd you play, I said literally every football league that exists and every team. I played everywhere. It's not a place I haven't played, but yeah, the bulk of my career was, first couple years in the NFL, same teams like you said, Miami, New England, Chicago, Carolina, and then the rest of it was mostly in the CFL. But I did have a little stint in the XFL when it came back in 2020. I played with the New York Guardians team, so I was right, yeah, so
Fire.
I was right there back at the crib playing back in MetLife. Uh, it would kind of suck 'cause that's when COVID hit because I was about to start. I had joined the league like 2 weeks before I was about to start, and then we was gonna
Oh,
play
man.
Houston at MetLife, and I gave
yeah.
tickets to the high school to bring all the high school kids and all that. So I was gonna have everybody, what I'm saying, fill up MetLife, and then COVID hit and everything got shut down. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Dang.
but other than yeah, I mean, I played arena too. That's how I ended up where I am now. I live in Arizona, so I came out here to play arena. Just where I met my wife. Started having kids, build my family. So it ended up being like my off season home. So while I was playing in Canada, I would be here in Arizona in the off season training and all that. Just because when you're an athlete, I love New York to the death of me. New York to the end, but. It's tough to train, especially in the winter months, because you know how I get when it's snowing, roads are shut down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's hard to get back and forth to the gym. You gotta be careful driving. So I moved to a place where I ain't have to worry about cold weather no more. I could get up, go work out outside if it's not too hot. If it is too hot, I can find me an indoor gym or somewhere I can still get my workouts in just as a pro athlete to kind of give myself that opportunity to keep staying ready. So I've been out in Arizona almost, I want to say almost 10 years now. So um
Oh,
yeah, but yeah, man, I had a long journey. Wouldn't change it for the world, man. Of course, growing up as a kid, uh, I never had pro sports like in my mind. That wasn't really like my end goal. Uh, I was just more of how it is growing up in the town, man. We just competitors, man. That's the thing I tell people being in New York is the environment naturally makes you a competitor, man, because there's just so many people, everybody trying to make something of themselves or do something or be something, and we all kind of get pigeonholed into what I'm saying, either hoop or you rap. That's what it was, man. You was either spitting balls or you was outside on the court hooping. We didn't really have too many football fields. There wasn't really too many opportunities to play anything else. um
right.
you know what I'm saying? I did play, I ain't played baseball. I was too big to play baseball. I played as a kid, but I was too big to keep going with baseball. And then I had got turned off from football early because I was too big to play Pop Warner when I was a kid. They told me I was too big. So when I started getting to Pop Warner, when I first moved upstate, they told me my age group, I think I was like 11 at the time. They told me I couldn't play with the 11-year-olds because I was too big. I was already like 6'1", 200 something pounds. So they told me I was too big to play with 11-year-olds. I was going to play with the 14-year-olds. And then they told me I was too big to play with the 14-year-olds. They told me I had to lose 30 pounds to hit the maximum weight limit to play. And then I lost the weight. I came back to play. And then they told me the parents was concerned that I was going to be hurting their kids. So they didn't want me to play. So then that's what completely
No
turned me
way.
off from football when I was like, I want to say like 8, 9 years old. And then that's how I got into playing basketball because I figured basketball was the one sport that nobody could tell me whether how big I was, I couldn't play.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how that went.
Great.
Oh, sound like
So
it was obstacles out the jump, man.
Out the jump, man.
that that's crazy.
Definitely agree with Derek. There's a lot of competitors here in Peekskill. Played with a lot of competitors, got coached by a lot of competitors.
Yeah,
But
yeah, man. Um, I don't know. I don't know what the situation is in the town, but I know for me, growing up was we used to play in so I got my first introduction into like organized sports when I played in the rec league, and we used to play the rec games over at what's the elementary school that's down the street from the high school? Is that Woods? That's not Woodside, is it? That's it's something
Talk
else.
about Oakside. Oakside.
Oh, Oakside, yeah. So we used to play the games at Oakside. Oh, I went to Woodside, that's why. That's all the way over by DPU. And then we used to play some of the rec games at the middle school, I think. So that was like my first introduction to like sports. And that's really kind of where I met like all the dudes that I'm cool with today. So like, you know, Joe Brickhouse, my boy Tyler, Craig Jacobs, Andre Jacobs, who else play with? Like all the dudes that I play with that's on that banner hanging up in the gym. Like that's where we all got our start. We started in the rec league. And then from the rec league, we started playing with PJ at I just said it too, and I'm drawing blanks. The canteen. So
Hmm.
that's what we used to call it, the canteen. We used to call it canteen, but I think they call it something else, something center now.
The
But
Kylie Center. Yeah,
Kylie Center,
they
yeah.
still call it the canteen, but it's like
Yeah,
I
if you're
believe
from the
for,
town, you call it the canteen, but other
yeah,
people
we
don't
call it
know.
the canteen still. Like if
Yeah. So that's where then we started playing with PJ at the canteen. And then PJ used to always put us in like the New York City tournaments. So like we'd go down and play in Dykeman, we'd go down and play in, all those different stuff. And
Aikman.
that's and yeah, and we used to kind of that's how we used to kind of stay together playing basketball year round. It was like we either was playing in the rec league, we won a rec league championship, and then it went to go playing with PJ. PJ used to take us to Connecticut, take us to Jersey, take us to all these places to play in all these, games, and we were staying together. So by the time we got to high school, it was a wrap. That's why, what I'm saying, we used to be blowing high schools out the water because we had been playing together since we was like
Uh,
10.
Y'all had that chemistry locked in already.
It was, and the chemistry was so crazy. We used to fight in practice every day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody was
that's a
brothers.
that's a common thing.
Dead ass.
It'd
Everybody.
be like that though.
Every day,
It'd be
because you
like
know
that.
each other so well. It's like you know each other trigger points. You always saying something. You got a little, a little tiff, a little beef. Somebody, each other talking to the same girl. So now it's a little
Yeah.
hesitant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we used to be in practice rumbling every day, every day. Somebody, and the crazy part was, I'll admit this, because I was bad, but I never really rumbled with the players. I was always like bucking against the coaches.
Hmm.
Like me and Coach P got a great relationship now as I'm an adult. When I was a kid, I used to be violating him. Yo,
Oh
yo,
no.
yo, SMD, you don't know what you talking about? Get out my face. I'll punch you in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to be,
Oh,
you know how it is. We was wild growing up. So
word.
Definitely
I
not.
remember he actually kicked me off the basketball team. So
Oh,
like before we won our first state championship, he kicked me off the team. And I had to have a meeting with him and my parents. And he basically was like telling my parents, like, Derek is talented, but like he a hothead. He can't control himself. He talking to me crazy. The other kids see him doing it and they following along. So then it was like but I used to get mad at Coach P because, at the time Mookie was the man. Mookie was the one getting all the college offers and all that. The rest of us didn't really have nothing. So Coach P was, 5 passes and give the ball to Mookie. And the rest of us is like, Mookie ain't the only dude on the
yeah.
team. What you mean? Like the rest of us know how to hoop. We've been winning chips before we even got with you. So how you add Mookie, and at the time Mookie was younger than us. He was like an eighth grader or ninth grader. So we like, yo, you gonna bring the young boy in and then tell us we gotta run a team through him? Fuck out of here, bro. Tell him sit down and learn. So,
That's
so
real.
that's what,
That's
yeah, that
real.
was how it went. So then
That's definitely.
after we had that meeting and let him know, like I told him, I said, listen, we get it. Mookie getting the love right now, and you know what I'm saying, you trying to ride the hot hand, whatever the case may be, but you got another 6 or 7 dudes, 8 dudes on this team who could hoop. And if you let us do what we've been doing for years, we gonna win the state championship. So then once he learned that, then it was like and Mookie was our little bro. So he was gonna go with the flow or whatever. And we was gonna tell him, like, Mook, we're gonna let you know your spots where we need you to go, get off and do your thing. But then there's gonna be times where you gotta play within the flow. So we figured out to make it work. And even though we still was in practice every day beefing, we was winning games. I think the first year we won the state championship, that was 2015. We had a couple cats that like came up here, transferred from the city. Things went well. We ended up like we wasn't great during the season. When we got to the playoffs, we found a way to make it click, and then we went on that run and won the first state chip. The second one, we was violating. We was beating. I think we beat everybody on an average of like 25. We was
Damn.
violating
Man,
everybody.
Oh my God.
belt to
Oh,
ass.
wow.
We was violating.
Belt
We
to
lost. We
belt
lost one game
GTA
that
right
year.
there.
Yeah, we lost one game that year. I
Yeah.
think we won 28 or 29-1. And the one game we lost to a team in the city that had like they had a lot of like nice dudes. And I think it was our first like wake up call where we finally played a team that could keep up with us because they had like 4 or 5 guards that could handle. And that game was so crazy because I remember they were strapping up our guards so crazy. Coach P told me to start bringing the ball up the court, and I was the 4-5.
Yeah.
So they got me running
Damn.
point at the 4-5 because the big man could keep up with me. And I think like situations like that, as I grew up, kind of like instilled a confidence in me that like, hey, I got an ability to do things that most people don't expect me to do. So that kind of transitioned into like everybody knew me as the basketball player. I'm walking the hallways, but you know what I'm saying? I'm 6'4", 6'5", 300 plus pounds. And everybody talk about, yo, basketball ain't it for you. You should be playing football. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
I will.
nah, I'm good on that football shit. I ain't trying to break my leg and none of that extra stuff. Everybody like, nah, go play football. I'm like, so the football coach every day, and then a lot of my homies that I grew up with that played on the football team used to be like, yo, come play, come play, come play. So I'm like, all right, my last year in peak skill, I'm like, boom, I'll come play football, right? But I told the coach, I said, yo, I'm not playing O-line because I'm trying to have my name in the paper because that's what I'm used to. I want the ladies to know who Derek Dennis is. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes, sir.
I want them to know who I am. So make sure I'm playing tight end and D end. So that was my first introduction to football, playing tight end and D end.
Nice.
Hold on real quick, 1 second.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, like basically picking off what he said. Pisco, it's a bunch of competitors. My coach, Daquan Brickhouse, Hooper. If you go look up sideline media and you go scroll down a little bit to the like last summer, he has a whole highlight tape. He actually
Nah.
beat Jimmer Fredette in the high school playoffs. Played at Glen Falls. He beat Jimmer Fredette. And Jimmer Fredette was a dog in high school. A straight dog. And we
So
all know Jimmer Fredette in college too.
Yeah, that was the year after I left Peekskill. I remember that because that was the third state championship we run. That was that year we won three in a row. So the first two I was on the team of 15, 16, and then they won it at 17. And that was the year they beat Jimmer. And Jimmer was the the hot topic of everything in New York because he was pulling that thing from half like it was nothing. It was cash money every time.
So,
And then on top of that, the state championships was played in Glen Falls. He went to Glen Falls High School. So when they got to the state championship, it was basically like a big home game. So the whole city was there.
yeah,
And then you had Dukes and you had Mook. And then you had Elliot Watson on the team too, because Elliot was nice.
yeah,
And then how we always had in the hood. We always had the homies who always played with us that kind of fill in to do all the dirty work. You had your man who played
yeah.
defense, the one who could rebound. You know what I'm saying? Like you always had everybody who knew their role and they played it well.
yeah.
So I was super. I was super. That was the year I went to. So 2017, I couldn't stay in Peekskill because I still had eligibility to play, but I was too old because I basically had to redo my freshman year because I went to a high school somewhere else, and I basically I was BSing. I ain't even going. I'm gonna keep it all the way P with you. I wasn't going to school. I wasn't doing nothing. I wasn't doing nothing. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? Like now that I coach high school ball and I talk to a lot of young kids, and I know sometimes when you're young, you always look at adults and you be like, man, you don't know nothing. You ain't been through nothing. Like I could literally tell you, bro. I've been through it all. I know
Right.
what it's like when nobody thinking about you. I know what it's like to be messing up in school. I know what it's like to be going through stuff at home and trying to figure out, how you find your place in life. Like I've been through it all. So it ain't no situation that I ain't never seen or I ain't never experienced with somebody. So
Yeah.
that's what it was for me. Like, so that year 2017, if I was eligible, I would have been on that team too, but I couldn't because I was a year older. So I ended up going to prep school and going to Trinity Pauling in Pauling, New York. So, and that was the only reason I went there because it was close to home. Because I remember my parents was trying to send me down to the military prep schools down south. And
Oh
I remember
shit.
at the time I used to have hair and braids, and then in the military they tell you can't have none of that. You got
Oh,
to cut, you got to chop
yeah,
that
the
off.
buzz cut. Yep.
Yeah, look, I looked right at my mom and said, "No, I'm good. Find me somewhere else because
Yeah.
I'm not cutting. I'm not cutting my hair. You're not gonna have me waking up 3:30 in the morning talking about I gotta shine my boots and do PT and all this crazy
I'm
stuff.
good on that.
Yeah, I'm good on all of that. I'm good on all of that.
Talk
So,
about being a
uh,
competitor.
it's funny
Yo.
because early on, every time even when I was getting recruited, I'm like a military academy high school. I'm not doing that, right? Boom. Then I get recruited to colleges, and West Point gave me a offer. So I'm like, oh, I could have went to West Point, but then they told me, oh yeah, after you graduate, you got to do the 4 years of military service. I said, nah, I'm good. But in hindsight, if I knew what I knew then, now what I knew then, I probably would have went because getting a degree from West Point is better than getting a degree from Harvard. You know what I'm saying? Like you see,
Yeah.
people see that on your resume, they're like, oh yeah, on the spot, how much you need, what position you want.
Yeah.
But
Being a
yeah,
competitor.
so the high school journey thing is I started playing football in Peekskill. Our football team was ultra trash. We didn't have no equipment. I think we had 18 people on the team. So I had to go both ways. I had to go
I
do
could,
special teams, offense, defense.
we could relate to that.
That's
Yeah.
literally us.
Definitely relate to that.
Yeah, bro. That was my introduction to football. And then on top of that, I never played growing up and I never really watched football.
Yeah.
Like I watched my dad would take me to games and stuff like that, but football wasn't really my thing, right? So I didn't really know much about rules or anything. Only thing I knew was on defense, go get the ball, on offense, go catch the ball. That was it. That's all I knew. Everything else I was doing out there it was like I was being an athlete because I played basketball my whole life. I was a big dude. I was light on my feet. I was agile. So when I'm playing, I remember specifically my first year playing football, right? We playing Spring Valley, up in Spring Valley. They gave me some shoulder pads that had one of the straps was broken.
Oh no.
So I only had one of the straps on. And then my helmet barely could fit. So I used to wear my helmet without tying the bottom piece, right? So and then my pants didn't fit. They didn't have a belt for me.
Yeah.
So the only thing that was big enough was my jersey, right? So literally I'm out there playing football with like equipment that barely fit me, but I'm thugging it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I remember my boy Andre Jacobs was the quarterback, right? I'm playing tight end. I ran a 5-yard out. He throw me the ball, I catch it. I go to turn up the field, right? The first dude who tried to tackle me, he grabbed my shoulder pads. You know what I'm saying? When he
Yeah.
grabbed my shoulder pads, the strap that was actually working, he popped it.
Oh, no way.
Oh.
So when he popped my shoulder pads, now he's dragging my shoulders. He got my jersey at my neck.
Yo.
I'm still running down the field with him, right? As I get 10 yards down the field, the belt on my pants pop.
No.
Boom.
Oh.
So as the belt on my pants pop, I'm literally holding the ball in one hand. I'm took my other hand to hold my pants up so from falling.
Yeah.
And then the dude is still hanging on my shoulder pads with my shoulder pads on my neck, and I'm still running.
Committed.
Still running. Boom. A couple, like 3 or 4 more other dudes come and try to jump on me, right? One dude is literally, it was like a cartoon. One dude jumped on him. So I'm dragging 2 dudes that's pulling on my shoulder pads. Another dude hit me from the side. I'm dragging him. And then another dude came and tried to get my ankles. So I'm dragging one dude on my ankles,
Yeah.
like still like skipping down the field with my shoulder pads in my neck and my pants about to fall. I remember I get like 50 yards down the field and I finally give up. Like I'm like, I can't keep pulling everybody like and
Oh.
holding my pants up. So then I
I
get
was
on the
in my hand and back
sidelines.
running.
And the funny thing happened. So I get on the sideline and the coaches is looking at me and I'm going, yo, what's going on? What y'all looking at me for? They like, yo, they like you know what you just did? And I'm like, nah. They like, yo, you just dragged like 5 people 40 yards down the field while you was holding your pants up and your shoulder pads falling off. I'm like, bro, in my mind, all I was thinking was, yo, I ain't know how many times I was gonna get the ball. I'm gonna make this count. You feel me?
Yeah. That's
But
insane.
yeah, man, that's when like people started like putting it in my ear, like, yo, you might be able to do something with this football thing. But I was always on the I'm a basketball player. I'm a basketball player. So that 2017 year, when they went on to win state, I had to go to prep school. But prep school was kind of like what got me ready for the opportunity to like go do all the stuff I did, right? Because I was
Right.
getting a little bit recruited while I was at peak skill, but it wasn't much, right? And a lot of it had to do with just, it was a combination of like some people believed in me, some people didn't, you know. So I was always the type of dude that like bet on myself. Like every time somebody told me I wasn't good enough to do something, I'd be like, I bet I'll show you. Or a teacher told me, oh, you're not smart enough. I bet I'll show you. Boom. I'm gonna turn this next paper in and get an A. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I was
Yeah.
always that type of kid. So prep school really like turned it around for me. And then I went to prep school and I ended up playing 3 sports. So most people don't know this, but I played lacrosse in high school too.
Oh
Mm.
shit.
How was that?
Yeah. It was fire because lacrosse is like a mix of like hockey, soccer, and
Yeah.
football.
Yeah.
So what most kids don't know in lacrosse, you can hit motherfuckers. Like you can literally drop your shoulder
Mm.
and boom a dude. So like when I learned of the physical aspect of lacrosse, that's when I fell in love with it. And then if you really look at the history of lacrosse, like if you look at football players,
Yeah.
you look at like Jim Brown was an All-American lacrosse player in college.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like most people don't realize stuff like that. But like lacrosse is a sport that's like it take like 3 major sports and mash them into one. And if you get the hang of it, now granted, holding that little stick and trying to scoop the ball up, like that takes skill. Like that's
Oh yeah.
but this the actual rules of the game and how it's played, it was fire. So I played my first year. I actually played at peak skill my senior year, and then I went to go play at my prep school. But by the time lacrosse season rolled around, I had already committed to go play football in college. So I was like, let me kind of put my focus into football and stop, playing other sports type of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Okay.
uh yeah, that was basically like prep school. I ended up playing basketball there, playing football there. And then that's when kind of my like transition into like becoming who I was started because when I went to prep school, I had still classified as a senior. I wasn't a post grad because I didn't graduate from peak skill.
Okay.
So I went to prep school as a normal high school senior, and that kind of helped me in the sense of like I started getting recruiting because my prep school coaches was like they was like pushing me hard because at Trinity Pauling the way they do it is um it's technically a high school, but they're allowed to have some post grads.
Yeah.
They're allowed to have some post grads. So they only allow four. They was able to get five because technically I counted as a senior. So they was able to like recruit more kids.
Yeah.
So I actually played with a dude at prep school who ended up he played in the NFL too.
Man.
He played for the 49ers for like 6 years. I think he won a Super Bowl with the
Damn.
Niners.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and he was like a sophomore. He played safety for us.
Nice.
So yeah, my high school coaches in prep school, they was like pushing me for like basketball and football. And I ended up getting like 50 D1 offers.
Nice.
And I had like 10 schools who wanted me to play both. They wanted to play football and basketball.
Oh wow,
That's tough.
Yeah, but everybody like talked me out of it. They're like, nah, college gonna be OD hard if you playing two sports because you ain't never really gonna get no
Yep.
break. And you gotta factor in, you still going to school and going to class and all that. So I was still gonna try it though. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm still gonna try it.
Why
But
not?
yeah, so as I was getting recruited, and because I counted as a high school senior, when the end of the year came around, I ended up being ranked in the top 50 in the state. So I was like, actually, by the end of my senior
That's
year in
tough.
football, I went from just starting to play football the year before to a year later, I was the number 25 player in the state
Nice.
in like a year's time with no training, no nothing. All I was doing was just being an athlete and a competitor.
That's
And,
tough.
and then I ended up getting recruited. I started getting offers from like University of Virginia, Penn State, all that stuff. Cause all right, so backtrack a little bit. So that year before I played at Peekskill, the year I played at Peekskill was my first year, right? When I got into like AAU season, I had an AAU coach who coached at a high school, a Catholic high school in the city, but he had like college connections. So I remember one day he just asked me in basketball practice. He was like, "Yo, do you play football?" And I was like, "Nah, not really, but I just played this past year for like shits and giggles, like just to pass the time."
Yeah.
So he was like, "Yo, can I see some tape?" So I went to my high school coach. I was like, "Hey, what games we got on tape?" We had like maybe 3 or 4 games. So I was like, "Cool, let me just borrow these." I
Yeah.
took the tapes. I brought it to the coach. I gave it to him, like just on some like here.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, he was a basketball coach at his high school. We played them during the high school basketball season at the county center in the slam dunk tournament.
Yeah.
Oh,
In the slam dunk tournament. So I ended up going crazy that game. I think I scored like 22 points and had like 16 rebounds, right?
Mm.
He he took the high school tapes that I gave him. He took the high school tapes that I gave him. He took the footage from the basketball game and he made a mashup highlight tape for me and he sent it out to every college coach he knew.
That's
Yeah.
coach wanted you to get to make it, bro. That's fine.
That's
that's
essentially
awesome.
how I got recruited.
That's
So when he did that, and colleges got a chance to see me playing two sports on the same highlight tape. So he made it to where like, boom, you see me, the play that I told you about with a pads pop, he had that play on there. And then the next play, you show me on the basketball court, fucking cross over a center and spin move and lay it up on him. And then that's
That's
how he
tough.
made
That's nasty.
that's how he made the highlight tape. So
Nasty.
when
That's
he sent
funny.
it to the college coaches, boom, I just started getting recruited out the Wazoo. So I remember the vice principal, he brought me in his office one day, and at the time his name was Jasper King. He brought me in the office one day, and he take out a box of letters. So I'm like, why are you taking out a box of letters? Like what? And then he started throwing it on the table, and it's like Boston College, Syracuse, Penn State, boom, boom, all these schools, and I'm like.
Shit.
In my mind, I'm like, oh, bet now I'm getting the basketball offers that I've been waiting on, like, because I've been cooking cats. He like, nah, this for football. I'm like,
oh
football?
Oh,
shit.
Football.
I'm
Wow.
like,
oh,
football?
Oh,
Like, I'm like, I don't want to play football. What you mean? Like,
Yeah.
nah, tell him I'm good. Like, I'm
Everybody
like,
was
what a
impressed. Everybody was impressed from the clip of you dragging all four bodies.
like
Like, this what we need.
yeah, but it was too like it was the same thing. Like, cause I played defensive end, and I was the type of dude like I didn't realize how much of a motor I had as a kid, but my motor came from me just wanting to compete. And what I always tell people is like, the thing that drove me the most was that I never wanted nobody to come to a game and be like, yo, that motherfucker sucked. Like who
Right.
number so and so? Like, yo, he ass. Because you know how it is, especially back at the crib. Like if you trash, you know everybody on the sideline gonna let you know, like,
Oh, bro.
yo, he doodle, cook
Oh,
him.
bro, 100%.
Yeah.
$100%
They
So
don't. They
that
don't.
was
They don't hold back.
don't
at
hold back.
all.
So that
Not
was
hold
my
Never.
back.
and you know what? I had a crazy experience as a kid at Rucker Park because I remember I was playing in like the younger division in EBC. And I remember, and you know, Rucker Park rims is kind of low. They're not regulation. They kind of low.
Yep.
So when you know you got a little bit of bounce, you like, oh, this the park I could probably catch my first body. So I caught a break and I went down to go dunk on a dude. And when I tell you he punched my shit against the glass so crazy
Oh no.
that the whole park started cooking me.
Nah.
And then
Wow.
the dude on the mic, the dude on the mic gave me some crazy ass nickname, but it wasn't like a good one. So every time
Nah.
after that I started catching the ball, he started calling me that, and everybody would be laughing. So that was like my intro to like, nah, from here on out, no matter what I'm playing,
I am
I'm
not
never
trying to hit
giving
that
nobody,
again.
yeah, I'm never giving nobody the chance to tell me I'm ass.
Word.
At all.
Yeah.
I don't care what happened, but that's not happening ever
That's not
again.
At all.
happening
That's not
again
happening
at all.
again.
At all. Because you know how it is. Once you get stuck with something, that it's
Yep.
hard to shake it.
Oh,
Yeah.
bro.
Yep.
So I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's never happened to me again. So that was my motivation. So like, even if I was playing defensive end, I would be like ball running away from me. I'm hawking the dude and like tackling him. You know what I'm saying? And at the time in high school, I'm 260, 270, 280. So football season I had got up to like 310. So you know what I'm saying? Like, and
Yeah.
then the crazy part was my hands was so certified. All right, now I'm a brag. My hands were so certified that the coach used to throw me wide receiver screens. So I used to run Z bubble screens.
What?
Nah. Nah.
He bubble
No
What?
screen
way.
on Bone Crusher is crazy.
Yes, Z bubble screens as a 280-pound, 6'4" dude in high school, right? And because he did that after I did that play in Spring Valley, he was like, bet, I'm gonna just throw you a bubble screen and have you drag motherfuckers for 40 yards.
Oh, no, yeah, those are easy 20,
Yeah,
40
that's
yard
easy.
play
Easy. He like
games
That's
easy
every
pretty
first
year
tough.
down.
right there.
That's
Easy.
insane.
So that's on the highlight tape. You see me lining up at fucking Z, putting my arm out to the ref, and them throwing me bubble screens. So
Yo.
you know, it was so much stuff happening that it was like a nah. Too many people giving him the opportunity to go crazy. So like, he got to
Yeah.
be nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I got those football letters, I was kind of like, nah, I'm not playing football. I'm good. Basketball. And then I started getting the basketball offers, but it wasn't like the offers I was looking for. It was kind of like the, mid-level D1, low-level
Yeah.
D1s.
Mm.
I think the highest basketball offer I had was I got an offer from Memphis when John Calipari was there. But
Yeah.
this is
Mm.
before like Memphis became what they was. And that was off of the strength of like an AU game. I was playing some dude he was recruiting. And like, even though I was undersized, I was cooking this motherfucker. So then they started like showing me a little bit of love. But basketball was kind of tough because high level schools felt like I was good, I was athletic, but I didn't have like that bouncy shit. Like I wasn't taking off from damn near the free throw line and banging on cats. And you know what I'm saying? My jumper was nice in high school. That was like my claim to fame. I could shoot. But yeah, man, like I started getting like D1 offers for basketball. I started getting the football stuff. And then I was just kind of teetering between both. I got the prep school. My prep school coach just sat me down and he was like, listen, I know you like basketball, but I think football is gonna be it for you. Like that's gonna be your future. So like I trusted what he said. You know, even though I hated it, I trusted what he said. So I was like, all right, I'll go the football route. So how I ended up at Temple was the head coach at Temple that recruited me, he was a defensive coordinator at the University of Virginia. When I went on a visit to the University of Virginia during like they had a football camp.
He
I
was
was
still there
going
for that.
I was going crazy in the football camp, like wilding.
Yeah.
Like like I had an OBJ like style catch. This is before
Oh
like
no.
everybody knew about like one handers. So
Oh
Yeah.
no.
I remember the ball getting thrown to me, and it was like three dudes around me, and I don't know how I ended up getting the ball or reaching for it. I just jumped, and it was like on some like Vince Carter, like catch the ball back here to hawk it, dunk. I
Mm.
like just reached back and I caught the ball. I don't know how I pulled it off. And then I remember after that play, like all the kids in the camp, the coaches, they
They
was
were
just
going
like
crazy.
going crazy because they like they see a big dude and they're like, damn, you can make plays like that. And I'll be completely honest with you, I had no clue I could do that my damn self. It just happened. So
That's
He was
wild.
he was in the entire like state of just mind, just catch that ball.
just catch that was it. That's all I was thinking was I just gotta catch the
That
ball. I wasn't
athleticism was on full display right there.
full
So
display,
like,
Yeah.
full display.
Full
And
display
the
right
crazy part is like in your POV of things happening, you don't really see what it looks like from everybody else's perspective. So like to me, it was just like, oh yeah, I just went up and caught the ball. But like to them, it was like this big dude just jumped over like three people, contorted his body, and then caught it behind his head and scored type of thing. So
Yeah.
um yeah, when he
Good
left,
catch.
yeah, my head coach at Temple that recruited me, he was the defensive coordinator at UVA. He got a head coaching opportunity at Temple, and he remembered me from the camp and recruiting me. So he basically like went on like full court press to give me the Temple, right? So they was coming up to my school every week, talk to me, see how I was doing in school, making sure they talking, calling my parents, all this crazy stuff, right? So I always tell people about my visit, and this was sold me on my visit, right? So y'all remember the movie He Got Game with Ray Allen and Denzel
yeah,
Washington?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So remember when he went to the school with Rick Fox and they
Mhm.
was, out eating and all the girls was like, hey, are you gonna come to school here? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was a little bit uh, you know, inflated, but that's what my visit was like, right? So boom, I get to Philly. They take me and my parents first night, take us to Roof Chris. They're like, oh, get what you want. You know what I'm saying? Boom, we
Wow.
eating at Roof Chris or whatever. They give me like a player that's on the team to like be my designated like recruiter. And they like after I meet with the coaches and have dinner, they give the player like bread and to go take him out to have fun type of thing. So first night, take me to take me around the dorms, introduce me to people, you know what I'm saying? Find a way to get sauced up, have a good time. Put
Bro.
put you in a room with some ladies and like, all right, yo, we're gonna get you back to the hotel. We're gonna see you tomorrow. Boom, get to the next day, right? Now they take me to a restaurant. And this is when I learned that there's like tiers to like eating
Yeah,
food and like high living.
yeah,
So they took us to like a 4-star, 5-star Michelin restaurant.
yeah.
Like so crazy that when you walk in and you open the menu, there's no prices. It's just food.
Oh
Yo,
no.
what?
Oh
Yeah.
no.
So my
No
parents,
way.
and this how you know we from New York, right? Parents, they open the menu and I hear my mom and dad, they like, yo, what do we order? Cause like don't nothing got no prices. So we don't know what costs what.
Not word.
Right.
So I'm like, I think you're just supposed to get what you want. They like, nah, we not trying to be like, you know how it is. We're not trying to, I need to know what I'm spending type of thing. So my mom leaned over to the coach. She like, hey, coach, like, I don't know, we don't know what to order because there's no prices. The coach dead look at her and go, get what you want.
Why?
She
mm.
like, she like, for real? He like, yeah, get whatever you want. Like we're paying for it. Get what you want.
Yeah,
so
Yeah.
so my parents, they extra.
yeah.
Boom, let me get the king crab. Let me get this. Let me get the shrimp. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Got you.
Yeah, they eating it up.
Word.
So after we do the dinner or whatever, and granted too, like this dinner is just like it's only two recruits in there. It's me and another recruit, right? Come
Right.
to find out later on down the line, I'm asking all the homies that we came in with. I'm like, oh, where they take you to eat for your recruiting visit? They like, oh, they took us all to Dave and Buster's.
No way.
I'm like, y'all went to Dave and Buster's? They like, yeah, where'd you go? I'm like, not Dave and Buster's.
David Buster's, yeah.
They giving the food luxury.
I would have been like, ooh, Dave and Buster's as well.
Nah, word.
Yeah, so that's when I knew like, and then the guy who was helping recruit me, he ended up becoming like my best friend because he's from New York too. He actually from New Rochelle.
Mm.
And he played with Ray Rice in them in high school and type shit.
Oh shit.
So he told me, he like, yo, they wanted you so bad, bro. They And he's like, yo, they gave me like $500. Say, yo, do whatever he want to do. Like make sure he want to come here after this visit type thing. He like, bro, I ain't never seen them treat a recruit like that ever. He was like, they really wanted you. So the second night, again, take me around the campus, taking me to other dudes, introducing me to dudes on the team, introducing me to the girls, taking me to parties, blah, 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 all that stuff, right? Um, so they got me so lit the second night, right? The third day is when I'm supposed to go home. So we supposed to have a breakfast with all the coaches, and then I'm supposed to go home. I'm at the breakfast hungover, like
Oh
lit,
nah.
lit. My mom and dad is looking at my, you say, like my mom's gonna be like, "Oh my God, Derek, what's wrong with you?" My dad looking at me like, "Yeah, that's my boy, that's my boy."
Oh, boy.
He like, "You gotta tell me what happened later." I'm like, "All right,
Word.
I got you." So I'm sitting there just hungover. The coaches is just like, basically like, "We're not letting you leave till you tell us you coming or not."
Mm.
So I basically like was just thinking about it. And I like Philly because Philly kind of reminded me of, being back home in New York and having that inner city feel and all that. So I was like, yeah, boom, I'm good. I'm coming to Temple. They're like, all right, bet, yeah, he's coming to Temple. So my mom was kind of like, no, you shouldn't commit. Take the rest of your visits. I'm like, nah, honestly, like, it's cool for me. I'm far enough to be away from home, but I'm close enough to,
A
what I'm
visit.
saying, get home if I need to. If
Yep.
I'm
Right.
like struggling, I could get, and my dad worked for Amtrak, so it was easy for me to just like hop on the Amtrak from Philly to New York, and it was like an hour and a half. I could get to the crib, right? And then my parents too, like if they needed to drive, to be honest, to get from like Peekskill to Philly, it's only like a 3.5 hour drive.
Yes, sir.
So because you could cut it right across and then go through Jersey, and then once you get to Jersey, you're there. So
Yeah.
it was enough to where like I felt like I was away from home, but I was still close enough to get back to it if I needed to. So ended up being the best decision of my life because I enjoyed school at Temple. It was rough from a city perspective because if you ain't ever been to North Philly is Iraq.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like it's the trenches. We used to have crackheads
Yeah.
on campus.
Shit.
Like
I
you
can't
come out,
believe it. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, like there's a walkway that go through
That's wild.
campus. It's much cleaner now. It's much nicer now. But when I was there, it was a little rough because literally the hood surrounds the school. Like it's like a college in the middle of the hood.
Yep.
That's how Columbia
So
University is.
It's like
yeah,
Rucker.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So just like Columbia is, or just like Rutgers is around like East Orange and all that. Like literally, you go a block off of campus, you in the trenches.
Bro.
Yeah. So our practice facility used to be across from a project building. I, we had my first 3 years in school. I think my first spring in college, it was a goddamn shootout happening during practice.
Oh nah.
On
Like
the
we in the
campus.
middle of the practice, and all you hear is like Uzis going.
No way.
Oh, wow.
But
Yes.
but that's like to me that was like part of the journey that made me like a certain way because then once I got into being a pro athlete, right, you always on the move, you always traveling, you always going to different environments. Like I had got so accustomed to it that like my favorite thing to do in whatever city I went to was to go hang out in the trenches.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, I'm gonna find me a plug. I'm gonna find somebody I'm cool with, so I could get to know the area, get cool with the right people, so I ain't got to worry about no static if I'm in the wrong spot.
Nah, word.
And you know what I'm saying? Just show people like I'm where I'm from, who I am, what it is, right? And I know people always like to say like, money change people. Nah, money don't really change the person. Money changes the people around them because the people around them start feeling the type of way that, oh, you get into it, I ain't got nothing, or you acting different.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not really acting different. You just looking at me different now because
Nah,
I
word.
got something that you want,
Nice facts.
you know? So and that's part of the makeup of me and who I am. Like I ain't never really changed from who I was growing up. I'm still the same cat I always been. I've just been blessed to be in good situations and make stuff happen. And that's just because, every time I hit an obstacle, or I hit some adversity, or I hit a hurdle, I ain't let it defeat me. I just found a way to, what I'm saying, reroute myself to get back on track.
Right.
Yeah. So
So you talked about being a competitor. Who was your toughest opponent from the NFL? Since you talk
I know
about
what I always get this question. And to be honest, it's gonna be like names that everybody's used to playing. So like in Carolina, right? I used to go against like not Carolina, Chicago. we had a very veteran laden defense, right? So I'm practicing and blocking against Julius Peppers every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm blocking Brian Urlacher. I'm
Ooh.
blocking Lance Briggs. You know what I'm saying? I'm pulling out on screens or whatever, and I gotta go block Peanut Tillman. You know, like that's the defense I had to go against every day. And Pep, like I tell people, the NFL has that moniker of like being the best in the league, right? And the reason why it does is because of the entertainment factor, right? You see the big amount of money that dudes make, you see the life they live in, the circles they hanging around, the stuff they doing, and that's what makes you think like, oh, these guys are the best in the world, right? But what I tell people all the time is that there's a top to be a pro football player, you got to be top 2% in the world. But within that top 2% of pro football players, there is a 0.05% of guys who are just different, and everybody else are just football players.
Yeah.
So every team, and on a team, you got 2 or 3 guys like that, right? I'm talking about like, a Julio Jones type, Odell Beckham, a Julius Peppers, like guys who been doing it consistently for 10 years and they just different.
Right.
Yeah.
Julius Peppers was 6'6", 315 pounds, and could run a 4.5.
Yeah.
And also,
That's different.
That's insane.
and at North Carolina, he played football and basketball. He was on the basketball team at North Carolina and playing, like averaging 6 points and 6 rebounds a game after he just had 12 sacks.
Yeah.
So
That's different.
those are the dudes that's like those are the ones that like the NFL hangs their hat on to make everybody perceive like, oh, everybody's like that. But in the reality, everybody is not like that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just different. You know what I'm saying? Like you see a generational type build talent, and it's like everybody don't have that. Everybody don't is not blessed with that. So that's what the NFL is. But I mean, you got guys who've been playing football a long time who just nice. Like another one for me that was tough was Vince Wilfork. Vince Wilfork was butter bean body, but the motherfucker was so fast and so strong, like it was ridiculous. And like you would look at him walking around and you'd be like, damn, how is this dude a pro football player? You see the big fat, he look like a country dude, big fat belly, bald head, beard. You like, bro, he don't look like what you would imagine, right? But then he get on the field and he'll stand there, and as soon as he put his hand on in the ground, and the minute the quarterback says, huh, that dude is by you. You like, what the fuck? Like, how do you get over there?
That's different.
Different. Cam Jordan. I remember I was training with like Cam. I used to train out here because out here in Arizona, there's a lot of guys from Arizona who still come out here to train. So like Cam Jordan is from out here. And I trained with Armstead. And like you see dudes like that, Armstead is 6'8", DN, D tackle, who's 6'8", long arms, right? Played at the University of Oregon. Cam Jordan, 6'5", 300 something pounds. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's dudes where you just see, like, okay, I see the difference. Okay, like I see it. I understand it, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I would say my toughest, I tell people to this day, and if you get a chance to Google him to see like his highlights, the toughest dude that I've ever had to go against, but I had success against him, was Junior Gillette. Junior Gillette is from Spring Valley. He played 6 years in the league.
He played
Junior, yeah, he went to Temple with me, but he ended up getting kicked out and going somewhere else. But he from Spring Valley, right? Haitian dude.
Yep.
He had the most elite get off I have ever seen in my life, dog.
Yeah.
Like when you talk about quick twitch, like somebody who could go from 0 to 60, like he was like a Ferrari. He could go from 0 to 60 like that. And then he played basketball. So when he pass rush, he used to pass rush like he was trying to cross you over.
Yeah.
So it used to be hell as an old lineman to try to stop him because he was hitting you with a goddamn euro in the middle of his pass rush.
That's insane. Nah.
Euro step sack.
Yo,
No way.
and it used to work to perfection, bro. No one could stop it. Like he used to put dudes in a spin cycle. So crazy.
he was doing effortlessly what the new cats like Miles Garrett and them be trying to do.
bro. Like easy. And then if you go, he was doing it in NFL games at that. I
Yeah.
had to go against him in college. He got to the league as an undrafted free agent and was going crazy, going crazy. You see him putting like dudes like Trent Williams and the tackle that used to play in New Orleans that was in Miami. Uh damn, I'm drawing blanks on his name, but like dudes who were like
Yeah.
top O linemen in the
Yeah.
league for a long time, putting them in the spin cycle.
Shit.
And he used to just Euro step spin move, Euro step rip underneath, Euro step inside. And it was so crazy. Like I never seen nothing like it. Never seen nothing like it. He was a tough matchup for me. I would say another one was trying to think. Vince was tough. Vince was a tough block for me.
Yep.
Miami, it was Cam Wake.
Okay.
Cam Wake was OD. He was another one that had like the same type of get off that Junior had, and Cam Wake was like a weight room like beast. For like his biceps look like got his biceps and his calves and his forearms was like the same size. Like Cam used to be shredded, but he was super fast and super strong. Um, I'm trying to think who else. Who else, man? Pep was definitely different.
Julius Peppers.
Pep was different.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Pep was different. Like I couldn't stop his long arm because he was just so tall.
Yeah.
Like, and if you're not a 6'10" tackle that got the arm length to be able to compete with a guy like that, and then Pep was OD fast and OD strong. Like it was ridiculous.
When you
And
played against, sorry to cut you off. When you played
there you
against,
go.
was Bears or Panthers?
The Bears.
All right.
The Bears. Yeah. And then it was the tail end of B. Urlacher career, but like B. Urlacher was like he was a 6'5" linebacker, like 6'5", 270-pound linebacker who could run a 4.4, 4.5.
Yeah. Even in his
Even at that age.
He was still
yeah,
fast. He was
yeah,
still
even
fast, but he was smart. And the thing that made it different was like he learned to like find his moments because like that he was at the tail end of his career, so he wasn't doing the super athletic stuff that he always did, which he could do. You
yeah.
leave it? Okay. He wasn't doing the super athletic stuff that he could do, but he also could. Um, he was a veteran. He learned the game. He know how to like, what I'm saying, manipulate it to work in his favor. But yeah, Briggs was tough too. Briggs was my guy. Like that probably was like my favorite team to be on because like the camaraderie was different. And I love like Lovie Smith was probably like one of my favorite coaches to be around. He definitely was like that's when I learned like there's different types of there's a player's coach and then there's like a the hard ass military style, do it everything my way type of coach. Um, but Lovey was cool as hell. We had Rob Marinelli, who was our DC. He's like a well-known like NFL DC over the years. He loved me. He was like, man, you're gonna be a hell of a player in this league. But the politics of it always kind of plays a part. Sometimes you get in a situation where it's gonna be good for you and that situation falls apart, and then you gotta find another situation. And then you don't really know what to expect, right? So that's kind of like what happened to me. Is like Chicago felt like it was going to be it for me. That was going to be my chance to break in and have a 10-year NFL career and be an All Pro and all that. And then Lovey got fired at the end of the year because we missed the playoffs. They brought in a new coach, new GM. New GM started going out and getting guys that he knew and paying them. So then I became expendable. And then I get to Carolina, and then Carolina like I purely stuck around in Carolina as long as I did because I was just talented, and Ron Rivera loved me. Like he's also one of my favorite coaches I played for. Ron Rivera was a big fan of me. A lot of the coaches on that staff were a big fan of me. The hurdle was my offensive line coach didn't like me.
Wow.
So yeah, so like I tell people to this day, like in Carolina, this is 2014, right before the year before they go to the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
I'm in Carolina. We had a lot of injuries on the O line, so I was about to get called up to start and play, right? Because I was on P squad. So I'm thinking like, okay, boom, this is my chance to really show people I got the juice now. Man, this fool went and told him, like, yeah, I don't want to play him. I don't trust him. So they went and signed somebody else off of another P
No
squad.
way.
And then he ends up being a 6, 7 year starter for them.
No way.
Damn.
So yeah, man. So like I tell a lot of kids, man, like my first time being cut was on Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
Season 7, episode 1. It's still on YouTube if you want to go find it and look at it.
Mm.
Um my first welcome to the NFL moment was me going into training camp with the Dolphins and being cut on national TV for millions of people to see. So
Wow.
like
Wow.
I had a lot of obstacles and adversity through my journey that could have easily been like, all right, fuck this shit, I'm done, I'm cool. Like, let me just move on to the next phase of life. But I never wanted to be that guy as I got older to just always wake up and be like, damn, what if I just kept going? What
Yeah.
if I just kept, you know what I'm saying? What if I would have just kept trying, right? And that's basically what happened, right? After I got cut from Carolina, I came out here to Arizona, do the arena thing. That shit kind of depressed me. So then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna retire. I'm done. Then I got a call to come up to Canada. And then Canada, I was there for a week. They gave me a chance to start. And that was like my first real opportunity to like get in a pro game and really show people what I could do.
Mm.
And then the rest was history, right? I went in the next season. I won lineman of the year.
Right.
Mhm.
Ended up being having like in a 6 year span a Hall of Fame, CFL career, right? Ended up winning most outstanding lineman. I won a pro championship up there. I was a 4 time All-Star.
Yes, sir.
So it just kind of,
Absolute dog.
yeah, like it just
Yeah.
worked out in my favor.
Right, right. Like not everybody got the same path, but for your path, like that was your path, and it worked
Yeah,
out for me. So it's like at the end of the day, you can't you feel me? You can't look at somebody else's path and stress over that you didn't get their path. Like
That word.
yeah,
like
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's always the tough part for for us in the community we come from, is that growing up for me, I didn't really have too many images to show me like how to do it, right? We see more of the wrong images than we see the right image,
yeah,
right? And then I remember a lot of the stuff that I did that kind of built, who I was as a pro athlete and as a person was, I remember being young back in the day when we used to have Elton Brand Day in the hood. And I remember like the first or second Elton Brand Day, that's when he came and he bought like Corey Maggette, he bought like Darius Miles, he
yeah,
bought like his teammates from the Clippers with him.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And then I remember me and Mook, Corey Maggette had gave us a box of his sneakers to fucking split.
yeah.
So I remember like being a kid hooping in like fucking some custom ass like Nike Jordans with the number 50 on the back.
That's
You know what I'm
tough.
saying? Like,
Oh,
but that was like the stuff like that Elton used to do early in his career for the hood that kind of like stuck in my mind. You know what I'm saying? So um, you know, that was that became like my inspiration. Like, damn, I gotta figure out like how to get there, type of thing, right? So I know for us, and which I kind of take it, I take it personal in the sense of like a personal sense of enjoyment
Yeah,
that they put in my picture in the high school hallways with as a pro player who made it type of thing, right?
Right.
You could go in the gym and you could look at the state championship banners, you could see my name on the banners, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you're
that
the
became,
younger generation.
yeah.
yeah, that became like yo, and when you're a kid, you're not really, most kids not thinking of it like that. That's kind of like how my brain was wired. It was like, I want to do something that's going to allow people to remember me in a positive way. Like I don't want people, and Pete used to always tell me this shit all the time because the Dennis name in Peekskill was kind of like rugged because I got cousins and family members who been in the town for a long time and just wasn't making the right impression,
Yeah,
doing the right things.
yeah,
So I remember Pete always saying like, yo, you're gonna be the one that's going to change that, that's going to change people talking about that name differently, you know what I'm saying? And stuff like that used to always kind of like stick in my mind. And granted, like I said, it was always going to be bumps and trials and tribulations along the way, but like in my
Right.
mind the mindset was always like, okay, what do I do to kind of change the fact that when people say like my family name, they're gonna think of it differently. So instead of thinking, you hearing that name and thinking like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, like, no knock, these my peoples, but like you hear a brick house or you hear a something, and you know how it goes, right? So I was like, how do I change that? How do I make it different? How do I make it to where when people hear that name, they're gonna be like, oh, that's so and so now. So now when you hear the Dennis name, the first person that comes to mind is me, right?
Yeah.
Like my sister is a teacher now at Oakside, right? So when most people who we grew up with see her, they be like, "Oh, you Derek's sister." They don't even call her by name. Oh, yo, that's Derek's sister. You know what I'm saying? Like they show her love. Where she'd be like, "Damn, I'm tired of always being around and people saying, oh, it's Derek's little sister.' Like they need to learn my name." And I'm like, "Listen, this is just it comes with it. You know what I'm saying? It comes with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But
What?
it was fun, man. It was fun, man. Honestly, you know, there's times I always think go back on my journey, if I did something a little differently, would this would have happened? But to be honest, man, like the experience, the lessons learned, the trials and tribulations, man, honestly, it was a blessing, man. I always consider myself blessed to have had the opportunity to go through those things.
Right.
And I know for a lot of people, it sounds weird to them that I tell them like that never was my goal, my end goal. Like my end goal wasn't to be a pro player. My end goal in life was to graduate college because nobody in my family ever graduated college. So I was like, I want to be the first person to get a college degree and be able to change the narrative from that perspective. But the sports and going pro and you know what I'm saying, looking at this list you got up in front of me and all the shit I did, like I never really thought about none of that, man. I joke with my mom to this day. Like my mom, like I have the mindset of when I get a chance to sit down and do stuff like this with people, and like people say stuff like, "Yo, man, you a legend in the hood, man. You did so much.
Right.
Like everybody, love what you did." And in my mind, it was always, "Damn, I ain't do shit." I'm like, I'm still trying to do more. But it, I'm very appreciative and I'm very blessed to be able to sit down with young men like yourselves and be able to, kind of receive those flowers as I get the opportunity to receive them, man. Because sometimes I myself don't even stop to smell the flowers and acknowledge
Right.
the opportunities that I had and the places that I've been, man. So I appreciate y'all boys for, even reaching out to me to come on and do this and hang out with y'all, man. And yeah, man. So it's always love on this side.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
That's always happening.
I wanted to
Hi.
I wanted to jump on just I want to jump on just the experiences and learning experiences, maybe lessons, or maybe you don't want to use the words like losses or whatever, but I just
Yeah.
wanted to ask you like because you already probably touched on some stuff, but the question I just wanted to ask was what specific maybe lesson or experience, maybe even as simple as a conversation that you had in any professional league, NFL, CFL, that you can translate to everyday life, just being a good person or
Yeah.
just living everyday life. What is something that you could say that you took from the league that you could apply to everyday 24/7 life?
That's a great question. To be honest, what I tell people is the game of football itself taught me how to be a successful member of society, right? Because in college, football is such a violent, physical game, and it's not like basketball where you could play 3-4 games in a week, right? And then get the opportunity to play 3-4 more games, right?
Mhm.
Football is literally you get one opportunity a week to show people what you could do, right? And
Right.
everybody watch the NFL, right? If you see a dude on Sunday look like shit, what you gonna be saying all week? Oh, that motherfucker suck. I ain't touching. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He ass. He can't catch the ball. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
football is a game that teaches you that one, you got to learn to maximize your opportunities when you get them because they may be few and far between, right?
Right.
The second thing is the preparation that goes into football to get you ready for a game is crazy. Like you putting in 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week to get opportunity to perform for 2 hours,
Wow.
right? So it taught me how to be able to be consistent in my work ethic and know that what I do in the dark has to be able to pay off for when I get the opportunity to go right into the light, right? It taught me how to be disciplined, taught me structure, it taught me accountability, it taught me commitment, it taught me dedication. It taught me my favorite one is the discipline, right? Because I grew up a basketball player. I didn't grow up a football player. I love the game of football now, but when I started, I didn't love football. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't like it. Um, it took me getting into like it becoming a job for me to develop that love for it, right? And my favorite quote that I love on discipline comes from Mike Tyson. And I remember Mike Tyson being on a podcast and he was saying discipline is when you do something that you hate like you love it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
And
real. That's real.
that shit, like,
Beautiful.
that was me to a T, right? Like, I hated the game of football. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't know how to play it. I didn't know the physicality of it, but I had the discipline to continue to learn it and become good at it because I just, I had pride. I had a sense of, accomplishment for people to see my work and see what I could do and see my abilities, right? So the game of football itself taught me a shit ton because now in my current role is I'm in senior management for Pepsi now, right? I'm a senior manager for a Fortune 50 company, and my
Oh,
job is to control a large group of people and keep them, on a schedule, understanding how to be disciplined, understanding their job and how to do it and all that. And that's literally everything I did in football.
Yes, sir.
I treat it like a football team, and it works so well in the setting that like there's people who've been doing it longer than me that don't know how to overcome certain hurdles, right? And it's all stuff that I learned from the game of football to the point now that they looking at me and going, man, hey, you're a great manager. And I'm going, man, I'm just doing the shit that I've been doing every day for the last 20 years.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
So
that's real.
I was gonna ask, speaking of hurdles, like what was the biggest struggle you had like transferring from the college level to the NFL level?
just the speed of the game. And honestly, you know what? I'm gonna not give you a cookie cutter answer. For me, it was the lifestyle.
Okay.
It was going from not having anything to now all of a sudden I got money in the bank.
Real.
Not only do I have money in the bank, but I got a lot of free time to do whatever the fuck I want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got a lot of people who want to be next to me who before probably would have never even said nothing to me. But now it's, I got the Instagram joints pulling up on me. That's like, oh, you in the league? Come here, come talk to me. Me? You want to talk to
Me?
me? so you know what I'm saying? That's what it was, man. It was I think the lifestyle was the biggest adjustment for me, and I don't think I handled it too well early on because I just got so enthralled in it and just doing the wrong stuff, man. Just wanting to hang out, not getting enough sleep. You know what I'm saying? Always, running around doing this and doing that, and not kind of staying focused on my craft and staying focused in the what I wanted to do, the big picture, losing sight of the big picture. And I think it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot as I got older, and then I became a father to how to be able to handle going from nothing to something, right? Because again, I never had nobody to show me that. You know what I'm saying? Like I never had nobody to teach me what it was like to go from, not having to having everything. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of
Yeah.
that, it's weird. What I tell people is when you're a pro athlete, you think when you get money, you would be like, oh, people gonna want me to pay for stuff.
Yeah.
The amount of shit that you get for free
It's
when
crazy.
you could actually afford it is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like when I'm broke,
Types of-
you want me to pay for everything. But as soon as I get rich, you like, nah, take it. It's for you.
Over here,
Enjoy yourself.
Wow.
Nice.
That-
So
All that shit.
that's an adjustment as well. Like I don't think a lot of people are not used to. Like, how do you go from having to pay for stuff all the time to now people just for the simple fact of what you do, who you are, if you got a name, whatever, now they just giving you stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And speaking of like things getting given to you or buying
Okay,
things on
give me a
your
second.
own, I was wondering what did you spend like your first big check on? Like what was your first big buy?
This gonna show the New Yorker in me. So the first thing I spent my money on was a gold Cuban chain and a Jesus piece.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
that's definitely a
That's
New York.
That's the first thing I bought. I went and got me a thick Cuban. I think it was like a 20-inch Cuban and a large Jesus piece to go with it. That was my very first big purchase. I think I spent like 25K for it. But I was like, yeah, ultra New York, I got some big ass dumb diamond earrings to go with it. And then the next thing I went to go get a fucking Hellcat.
Oh shit.
Okay.
So that was my first big purchase. I got my first check. So what happened was I got an advance from my agent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go sit down. You always want to be nosy. The first thing I got an advance from my agent because it was like I was predicted to go second round. So they were telling me shit, I was gonna be a millionaire in a couple months. You know what I'm saying? So my agent had gave me a $50,000 advance after I left school. And that's when I went to go get the Jesus piece. And then once I got to the league and I started getting my first big checks and all that, then I went and got the Hellcat.
Nice.
Tough.
Yeah. So that was my first big purchase. I was like, I'm going to the jeweler. I'm getting me I was a Biggie fan. I'm going to go get me a Jesus piece.
Peace.
Yeah.
I mean, that's tough though. I'm not gonna lie. It's not. I mean, looking back at it in hindsight, you probably would think you could do better with it, but in the moment, there's nothing wrong with that, bro. Like,
Right.
honestly, like,
yeah, no, I mean, I was doing everything that what I'm saying. I thought I couldn't. You know what I'm saying? I gave my mom a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Especially mom's birthday rolling around. I used to be able to just. I remember one year I spent you get blessed to have the opportunity to, you could drop bread on the people that you love, right? I used to throw parties for my sisters and help pay for their parties. I would, buy my mom all the Louis bags she wanted, buy her diamond necklaces and bracelets and, you know what I'm saying? All that shit that we be thinking like, yo, when I make it, I'm going to do this for you, mom. So the only thing I didn't have to do was I didn't really have to buy my mom's a house because my parents were still together. My dad makes great money. You know what I'm saying? Working for Amtrak and all that. So I didn't really have to do like some of the other hardships that people may have where they're thinking like, damn, I got to get my mom out the projects and get her a house and all that. You know what I'm saying? My mom already had the house and all that. It was more like I had the bread to be able to just do nice things for my family to show them that, like, I appreciate everything you did for me. I appreciate the sacrifices you made. I appreciate you getting up and driving me to games when you could. Or, my parents, my senior year of college, they came to every single game my senior year of college, whether it was a home or away game. So like, I just wanted to show my appreciation for thank you for being there and supporting me and believing in me and keeping my head on straight whenever I would lose my way type of thing.
Yeah.
We got two. We got three.
I got one more question.
I got a
question. I got a question.
Absolutely.
You want to go, Justin? No, you want me to go?
Yeah. It don't matter. You go first and then I'll go.
All right. So coming from a college athlete, I wanted to know, like, what would you recommend athletes that trying to make it pro, whether it's a CFL, NFL, XFL, like any advice for athletes?
The advice would be to, one, always work on your craft, right? The thing about the game of football is that you don't always have to be the biggest or the fastest or the whatever. You just got to be a football player. And that's like, those are my favorite types of athletes, is guys who just, they play the game with a certain mentality. They play it, fast. They play with some speed. They out there hitting. Like me, I'm the physical part of the game is my favorite thing. So when I see a guy who not afraid to just put it on the line and just go smack everything moving, or if you're a safety or corner filling in on the box on a run and tackling a running back, or defeating blocks, you know what I'm saying? Like, learn to get good at the small, minute details and the techniques of whatever position you playing to show that you are a football player. And then the other thing is, take care of your body, man, because honestly, your body is is your asset. That's how you're gonna make your money, right? So,
Yep.
The line that my coach used to always tell us that I kind of live by was the best ability is availability.
Yep.
Make sure you're available, right?
Yep.
So I try to stay out the training room. Like the only time I was ever in the training room was when I had major injuries, and that's part of the game that happens sometimes. You don't ever know when it's going to be the opportunity that you're going to get hurt, right? So like in college, I tore my knee. Playing pro football, I broke my ankle. It probably is my karma from doing it to other people, because that's how I got my nickname. but yeah, injuries are going to happen. It's all about how you handle the adversity. Like my first real injury was I tore my knee in college, and I could have easily, at first it was mentally, tough for me to be like, damn, I can't play. My knee's busted. I probably may never play again, right? And then I had to finally like tell myself like, nah, this is not going to be the end for you. This is just a new beginning, right? And I attacked my rehab, and I came back from my ACL tear in like 7 months, which is normally take people 12, 13, 14 months. I came back in 7. And it's so crazy because going into my senior year, it used to be a company that used to come rank like all the seniors going into their senior year for like draft eligibility status, right? So I tore my knee my junior year, right? Going to the beginning of my junior year. I tried to come back and play, couldn't play, redshirted, boom, right? I came back in the off season, right? I'm about 6-7 months after getting surgery. This company comes in and they sitting down with, oh, who's the upperclassman, right? In my mind, I'm like, I'm still an upperclassman. I'm out of here next year. I ain't staying another 2. So sit down. They like write down your best games from the year before, right? So I'm writing down Penn State, so and so, the schools that I knew that had players that had a chance to go to the league, right? They had us running a 40. I'm 7 months post ACL surgery running a 5.1 40.
Oh, what? That's
You know what I'm saying? Like that's how crazy I got in the weight room and all that and getting healthy. And I was in that, excuse my language, I was in that bitch 10 hours a day.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's when I finally, like when I got to college, I wasn't strong because I didn't lift, peak scale. We didn't really have, I mean, now they do got a weight room, but when I was there, we ain't really had no weight room. We ain't have nothing. When I went to prep school, I wasn't really lifting weights. So when I got to college, I could only lift 225 3 times.
Damn.
Barely 3 times.
Wow.
After I tore my knee and I got ready, came back for that next season, I was at 30 reps.
Damn.
Jeez.
30 reps, 225?
Oh yeah, I mean now I probably could do like 50, but back then, like for me, you could see the progression. So I came into college being a big dude who wasn't strong, and I left still a big dude, but now I had the place. I had natural strength growing up. So then I incorporated that weight room strength, and then it just became, it was lights out. It wasn't a motherfucker on this planet I couldn't put in the dirt.
Right.
Yeah. So that's always my claim to fame. He gonna be mad I put this out here. But my boy Terrence Knighton, they just call him Pot Roast. He won a Super Bowl with the Broncos, right? We played together in college. He's now the D-line coach for Florida State.
Okay.
I am, to this day, I am the only offensive lineman who's ever pancaked him.
Oh shit.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn.
The only one. And he was hot. I remember I did it. We was doing like Oklahoma. And but we used to call it 2-spot. And our coaches used to like, that's how they used to like make us tough. Like, oh, you're gonna go 2-spot, right? So one day they made me do it with him. And in my mind, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna close my eyes, I'm gonna drive my feet, I'm gonna get under his chin, and I'm gonna just go crazy, right? So me and him get to that point, and I was always good at like understanding like leverage. Like I could always feel when somebody's like body weight shifts at the right angle and go, okay, yeah, I got you now. Boom, like take you down. So me and him did it. We was driving, and I remember feeling his feet stop, and his left hip slightly dip. No. And then the first thing that clicked in my head was, got your ass.
Oh, yeah.
Pancake his ass. He was hot. Hot. So hot. He like, nah, we going again. I was like, nah, bitch. I laughed and ran off. Said, nah, I'm taking that W to the casket.
I got my dub. I'm taking that to the grave.
I'm taking that to the casket,
That's
boy.
the way it gotta be too.
Yeah, I'm taking that to the
That's the way it gotta
casket.
be.
Every time he tried to go against me, I was like, oh, nah, somebody else go. It's your turn.
I already did my rep.
I got my rep. I got my W. Yeah. So like him, I don't know. I mean, I know y'all saying y'all pro teams. I don't know if any of y'all ever Jets fans, but another one of my good friends that I play with, Muhammad Wilkerson, who was a first round pick of the Jets out of Temple. I got him one time too.
Nice.
I got him one time. Junior. I pretty much pancake everybody. Like
Yeah.
I got everybody at least once.
Yes,
I think like the urban legend that I have in my college is one day I actually went by myself as an O-lineman. I went through all 5 positions against the starting D-line, and I won every rep.
So all 5 offensive line positions?
Yeah, I went from left tackle to right tackle at every
What?
position, and I beat each dude that on the starting D-line.
Nah,
like I told him,
Wow.
yeah, I told him, and this the New York in me. This when I get this when it come out crazy, right? we in spring ball, and I tell them we all we jab we jawing back and forth. We talk the shit. I said y'all motherfuckers ass. They said what? I said what? I said I will beat all 6 of y'all by myself. I'll beat all 5 of y'all by myself.
I got tape. I drag all 4 of y'all.
all of y'all. I will drag every last one of y'all by myself. I'll go from left tackle to right tackle and in a row and beat every last one of you.
Right.
They said bet. They said bet. Line it up. They said because they always thinking like, oh, he's not gonna beat all of us, right? Every last one of them, from left tackle to left guard to center to right guard to right tackle. I beat every last one of them.
Yeah.
After that, niggas never had nothing negative to say about me ever again.
Yes, sir.
Should have bet money.
Bring my name up, like, nah, that's that nigga.
Yes,
They
sir.
already know now. All of them.
They know. They all know. So
They all know now.
Yeah. So if ever I have a bad day, it's like, man, he just ain't feeling it today. He good.
Now one more. Justin, you got a question, right?
Yeah, I got a question.
Yeah.
So from your time playing in the pros, whether it was like the NFL, CFL, XFL, what was your favorite moment? Whether it was winning lineman of the year in the CFL or a big moment that happened in the NFL, what was your favorite moment?
I mean, it's tough to pick just one because I had so many, but I would say my favorite moment. My bad, I'm getting my kids lunch. My favorite moment was probably winning the Grey Cup.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, honestly, as a football player, you don't really get too many opportunities to win a championship. Now, granted, I had a few. Like, I won a bowl game in college.
Yes, sir.
I won state championships in high school. So like, it's not like winning was something that I wasn't accustomed to, but it's just a feeling of like winning at the upper echelon, highest level that like a lot of people don't just get the opportunity to to have that, right? And then on top of that, every day now, it's more like a pride thing, man. Especially like my kids get to see that type of stuff or other people, and it's a great conversation piece and starter. Yeah. Now I get to, oops, dropped it. But I get to walk around with this all the time now.
Nice.
That's tough.
Nice.
So
That's nice.
That's fire.
So just having the opportunity to, have things like that and, people to remember you and know you for accomplishing something like major. I mean, that's a hard feeling to beat, and it's a feeling that kind of, sticks with you for a lifetime, right? So it's this, same feeling that I get when I come back home to Peekskill and I can walk in the gym and see my name on the state championship banner, right? It's just what I always tell kids is it's cool for everybody to talk about you and say this dude is nice, but when you win a championship, you make yourself immortal. You make it to where your name will never be forgotten. Your name will never be erased from history because you've accomplished something that it's there forever. Yeah. So I would say winning a pro championship is probably one of my best things that happened to me in my football career.
Nice, bro. So does
Uh,
anybody got any last question? If you want to ask it now, you can get it off. Nube, sounded like you was about to say something.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just saying like thank you for being on this show. Obviously, as a Peekskill alumni myself, it was great to see another Peekskill relative here.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. This one, mommy got here.
And
Got you a burger.
Now, I listen, fellas. Like I said before, like to me, like I love doing stuff like this, man, because it gives me opportunity to show, I'm a real person at the end of the day. I know sometimes people like to, give you that hyperbole
Yeah.
of being, bigger than what you are.
Yeah.
But I like the opportunity to show. Hey, stop screaming, man. I like the opportunity to always show people I'm a real person, man. So I appreciate y'all. If I ever need me to hop back on, pause back in any capacity.
We'll be honored, brother.
we'll definitely
man.
be honored to have you on the show again.
Absolutely, man. I
Anytime.
appreciate y'all boys, man.
We want to echo what Nube said, man. Thank you for taking the time of your day. I know we took about probably an hour and plus of your day, so we just want to thank you for that, for being here for the whole time, bro, and just
Oh, you good, man. It's my off day, man. I'm chilling.
thank you, brother.
That's great.
Appreciate
That's
you,
great.
man.
Yo, so we're gonna sign off. This was episode 7. Y'all could tune in when this comes out. By the time y'all watching this is already next week, so it'll be next Sunday, August 10th. I believe August 10th it'll be dropping. So we signing off. This was episode 7. Y'all gonna see this next week. And thank you, Derek Dennis, for being here, bro. And we wanna just before we leave you in the back,
Clap it up for
round of
Derek,
applause, clap it up, bro. It was a great episode. So we're gonna sign it off with that, bro. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Oh,
Pleasure having you.
Pleasure.
I appreciate y'all boys, man. Y'all have a good one.
Good one.
You too.
You as well.
Have a good one, boss.
All right, buddy.
let's fucking
Yo,
go.
great fucking episode.
W
Great
episode, bro.
Great
W's in the
episode.
chat.
Yes, sir.
Episode,
W's
bro.
in the
W's in the
chat.
chat.
Yes,
W
sir.
episode, bro.
That's
That's
Yes,
what's
sir.
up.
yeah.
And it flowed naturally, bro. Like
Oh,
no
word.
chemistry was just
Bro,
good from the
facts.
beginning, bro. The chemistry was good from the beginning, bro. Like
That's our first pro player we had.
yes,
First pro
sir.
player. You
Bro,
know what? That's
that's
that,
the first
that
pro
was a
football
W.
player
I
I've
like
ever
this.
met.
Super dope,
Like,
bro.
To our GoPro.
That's the first pro
Oh
player
my
I've ever
God, I
met.
go, bro.
To our
I
GoPro.
think League. I think League's gonna
Amen.
go pro.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
I'm not
wait,
gonna
I'm
lie,
lying.
if we get him on this episode like two, 3 more times, then you can start asking him if he could set
Nah, yeah.
people that
Nah,
he
look.
Nah, yeah, 100%.
to come up
Nah,
on
look.
here.
Nah, word.
Feel
Or he
me?
comes up here with one of the people he spoke about.
Word. Literally.
Right, show me your highlights. I said,
No, nah, we need him. We need him and the one guy that he pancaked that he was telling us.
Nah, word.
Bro, I
That
can't
was
believe,
fuck-
bro. I wanted to ask him so bad, bro. I wanted to ask him so bad. Being in the Bears, did he get any glimpse of the Bears-Packers rivalry? And what was it like on the Bears side, bro? I wanted to ask him that so bad, bro.
Wait, you should have asked that. You should have asked that when you said, "Does anyone else have a question?" And then no one
I
asked you
should
to
have.
ask
You
him.
should've asked
I should have.
You know what I was gonna ask him? It was a random ass question. I was gonna ask him, who's like, what's it called, the most popular person you have on your phone or on your contact?
Oh, now that would have been tough. He probably would have said like Brian Urlacher or Cam Jordan or
Word.
something.
Nah, hear me out. He played O-line. No, he played
working
D-line,
out
right?
with Eric
Oh,
Arms.
He played O-line.
He played O-line.
Tom Brady played for the Patriots.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah,
right.
Brady.
He probably got Brady. He got to play for the Patriots.
You right. He
Brady,
probably do got
Cam.
Brady.
No, it'll be Belichick.
Belichick, but no, Brady.
Urlacher.
It would be Brady. It would be Brady. I'm not gonna lie.
Brady,
Brian
Belichick,
Urlacher.
same shit.
Brian Urlacher, I said that already. Fucking Cam Newton from the Panthers.
Yeah.
Julius Peppers.
Julius Powell, my
Come
God.
on.
Oh,
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. The,
Luke
the
Kuechly?
stories,
Luke Kuechly.
Luke Kuechly.
the stories from fucking the high school and the Pisco, yo, I can
Yeah.
relate to all that shit, bro.
What happened?
Bro, carrying 4 niggas, bro. Nah, that's OD. With
I think they, you know,
Collar?
something. Remember, my coach talked about that moment one time in football practice.
Yeah.
I didn't believe it. I was like, yeah, all right. He's dragging 4 people. He's dragging like 5 people down the field before, for 40 yards, and no one else is coming to rush him. There's 11 guys.
Nah, that's OD. That's so
Homie
weird.
really did that.
Yo, SummerSlam tonight and tomorrow. Oh my god.
In the slam?
SummerSlam.
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 Honestly, I'm really glad I got the connection to Derek to bring him on the show.
Yes, sir. Bro.
Nah, word. Nubia came in clutch with that one.
We definitely gonna bring him back on, bro. Keep it a whole bean. This is we right now. We recorded episode 7. I keep it a bean. We probably have him back on episode 10, nigga.
I'm not gonna lie. He did say we can bring him back on. So when we bring him back on, we can probably do like fucking NFL topics.
That word, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
He'll definitely be able to bring some insight on that shit.
If we bring him in episode 10, the way we've been lining up, dropping every week, that means he'll probably be on for the first week of football, nigga. That's perfect.
True.
That's perfect.
That's true.